Cool. So how's everybody feeling today? That was weak. Come on. How are we feeling today? Awesome. So my name is Josh Waxman. Thank you guys for having me here today. I appreciate you, Don. Thank you, Val. Thank you, Net. Thank you, Sergio, for having me speak today. And thank you guys all for coming here. I was talking to a lot of you guys outside, and I love talking to young people. You guys are all super motivated and super in a great position. You guys are in the right place at the right time with the right people. There's a lot of 16, 17, 18-year-olds, and there's some older people too, but for most of you guys, you're surrounding yourself with great people. Most people do not have that privilege in the world to be able to surround yourself with other 16-year-old, 18-year-old like-minded people. So be grateful for that. A lot of people, growing up don't have things that you guys have, don't have things that we're blessed with, and aren't able to really be conscious and understand money like you guys do. So just know that that's a key to start off. Like, you guys have great questions and everything, and one of the things that I grew up thinking about was, how can I be super successful? And you guys are all thinking about, like, what can I do? And I asked a lot of you guys, what do you want to do when you grow up? And some of you guys had good, clear visions, and some didn't. And I said, and we had heard Arnold speaking this week at the Growth Con, the number one most important thing to have is a clear vision. You have to have a clear vision. Tonight, I'm literally going to go home, and I'm 28 years old, and I'm going to go home and clarify my vision even more. Now, spending time with yourself is so important. And there's so many people in the world, all they care about is money. We have Instagram today, right? IG stands for instant gratification, right? And everybody just wants to get rich quick. Everybody's trying to sell the next cool thing, and that's not how wealth is built, right? And there's all these people that care about money and don't have the consciousness to actually be a decent human being in society, right? And everybody cares just about money. Then there's these other people that only care about consciousness, and they live in Costa Rica on the beach, but they don't have any money. And I think it's more important than ever today to have money and consciousness, to have success so that you can live the life that you want to live, but also have consciousness so you understand why you do what you do. We grow up in society. Is there a clicker or no? No? All right, cool. We grow up in society saying things like, we hear things, money is the root of all evil, right? Money is not the root of all evil. It says that the love of money is the root of all evil. Money doesn't grow on, except it's made out of, and paper comes from. So I don't know who wrote that, because it doesn't make any sense, right? Money does actually grow on trees. Rich people are what? Evil. What else do you hear at home? Greedy, sad. What else? All right, one time I was running an event, and my mom was in the crowd, and she yelled, "Awesome." Right? Rich people are awesome. I don't know about you. I've never met an unhappy, successful person. I don't know why they portray that in movies and shows and online, but that's not what I've experienced. Most people that I know that are super successful live a great life. They're not unhappy. And then money doesn't buy, and it absolutely pays for the trip that money allows for all happiness to exist. Right? And so you have to have money in the world today. We don't live in Egypt in 2000 BC. You need to have money. You need to be conscious of what you're doing in your life. That family is what? Filthy rich, thinking rich, right? We associate negative, dirty words with money, and we start conditioning ourselves for negativity when it comes down to money. So by the time we're 18 years old, some of you guys aren't 18 yet, but just know that by the time you're 18, you'll have 20,000 meals with the wrong financial planners. And who are those people? Yep, your family and your teachers, right? Some people that I talk to say, my professor, my teacher said to do this. Most likely your professor, your teacher makes $60,000 a year, has never ran a business, has never made six figures, and doesn't understand anything about success. And even if your parents are successful, it comes down to asking the question, is that the life that you want to live? And so you always have to find somebody that has what you want, and then do what they do and say what they say so you can get what they get. That's something that I took on as a kid, and it's understandable why we think negative things about money, because we're conditioned to believe negative things about money. We're conditioned to think negatively about money, and we don't grow up in a society where money is spoken in a truthful way. And so when we understand things, when we hear things from social media, from our parents, from our teachers, from wherever, we're conditioned to think negative things about money, and your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between a truth and a lie. So if you hear that rich people are greedy, then you're going to think rich people are greedy. You're going to think that money doesn't grow on trees, even though it's made out of paper, right? It's important to recondition your mind and recondition yourself, because in the world today, we got a lot of problems financially, right? There's inflation, super crazy. And some of you guys are like, what the heck do I care about inflation? I'm 16 years old. You have to understand that your incomes, our median income in the last 30 years has only gone up 25%, but the cost of everything else has gone up over 300%. So you have to understand things about money. And luckily, we grew up in a society where all of you guys have free access to everything ever that you'd ever want to know on your phone. Right? Back in the day, 100 years ago, you'd have to go to the library. I grew up with phones. I'm only 28, but like there was very harder to get information. We have unlimited access to information. The national debt has gone from 20 trillion to now it's over 34 trillion dollars, and America is headed not in a great place. We had the pandemic. 80% of all money that's circulating in the economy was printed from 2020 and on, right? And so when 2008 happened, I was your guys' age. I was a little younger. I was 13, 14 years old, and I didn't know anything about what's going on in society. You might not have cared about what's going on when COVID happened, but it's going to happen again and again and again, and it's super important to understand how money works. Every time the market crashes, retirement savers lose $3 trillion. So the point is that everything that we learn about money is not real. And so whenever I sit down with my clients, I work with a lot of high net worth individuals, business owners, athletes, helping them figure out what to do with their money. And you guys know who Warren Buffett is, right? His number one rule of money is don't lose your money, right? Don't lose your money. Number two rule of money, anybody have a guess? Yeah, don't lose your money. Follow rule number one. It is super important not to lose your money. So for all the people that are doing stocks and Forex and trading and this and that, if you can lose your money, Warren Buffett would say don't do it. Right? I'm very tied in with Grant Cardone now and his whole situation. You guys know who Grant Cardone is? Right? His goal is don't lose your money. And then the next goal for everyone once you start making money is to pay less in taxes. I don't like to pay taxes. You shouldn't want to pay any taxes. So I help people control their taxes as well. And so all of these things that we put money into, you guys don't have to worry about right now. My goal is to help people re-engineer their mind when it comes to money. I don't want to pay taxes, and I want to help people not pay taxes. So I move people's money from stocks and bonds and mutual funds and Forex and crypto, 401ks, IRAs, all these things that we get taught to do, and put it into other opportunities when it comes to making money, like life insurance. I show people how to not lose any money. And everything that I do with how I grow my business is all about building a legacy. We were talking, some of you guys were asking me questions, awesome questions about what do I want to do when I'm older, what does it come down to, why do I do what I do, why do you wake up early? But I could show this with you. It's really not applicable, right, to understanding that you need to know what the system is. You need to have a blueprint for everything that you do. You need to find somebody that will mentor you and guide you and coach you. If I had the privilege of anything growing up, that's what it was. It was a mentor and a coach and a guide of somebody that was going to show me what to do. And so when I sit down with my clients, with business owners, with people that want to learn more about money, this is what we share with them. Understanding how to have a billionaire blueprint system, manage your cash flow, understanding what to do with your money every single week. And I created budget worksheets, time budget worksheets, money budget worksheets. These are things that I started doing when I was your guys' age. When I was 16, my dad made me walk around and keep with a transaction register. Does anybody know what the heck that is? It's like the little checkbook that you get at the bank where you can write down all of your transactions. And I wrote every single thing that I did in there for like 5 years, and I became conscious of my money. And there's certain things that you want to do to become conscious of your money. If you want to learn more about this, you can scan this QR code here. But I'm not really here to sell you anything. I think that it comes down to, here's a free ebook for you guys, and here's my Instagram. But I really wanted to add more value to you guys so that you could understand what you have to do to be successful. You guys are in a key point right now. Some of you guys asked me what books I read when I was your guys' age, and I literally opened up my notes from 2014 when I was a senior in high school and said I read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich. These are the books that I read when I was your guys' age. And you have to be obsessed with being successful all the time. You guys asked great questions. outside, and I wanted to continue answering some of those questions because you have to want to be successful. It's not just going to happen because you look good and you feel good now. Yeah, most of my friends are not successful. Most of my friends do not wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Most of my friends do not go to the gym every day. Most of my friends do not make the kind of money that is possible to be making. And it just depends on what you're willing to sacrifice, what you're willing to give up, what you're willing to do. You're not going to learn it from your teachers. You're probably not going to learn it from your parents, and you're definitely not going to learn it from your friends. You have to do what everybody else is not doing. If your friends are doing this, do the opposite. If you think that you should do this because you read something about it online, or your parents told you to go to school and get good grades and then go get a good job, that's not the route that I took. I'm not saying that that's not the way to go. It depends if you're a doctor or a lawyer, but that's not how you're going to be successful. No one in this room that's leading this event, Sergio, Don, Val, Net, everybody in here that's running these events, the NFL player that was here earlier, none of us went to school, got good grades, got a job, and followed the traditional route. That's not how you become a 7-figure income earner. That's not how you make a lot of money. You want to determine what it is that you want and then open that up so that you can do whatever it is that you want in your life. And that's what it comes down to. And really start figuring that out now. I don't think you have to wait. I don't think you should go study something in school and do what you want to do after that. I don't think that you should follow what your parents and your teachers and everybody said. And I don't think that anything that you study in school has anything to do with how you're going to end up being successful. You got to spend time with you. You got to learn about you. You got to understand why you do what you do. You got to understand why you act the way that you act, why you are the way that you are, why you think the way that you think. And it's super important to start thinking about that stuff now. I was 16 years old. I was 15 years old when I went to my first personal development event, and I've never went back. I've read every single week, every single day. I wake up early, I go to bed late, I work hard, and you guys have to do that if you want to be successful long term. And I also went to University of Miami and had a great time and partied my face off for a couple years and got out of my system, and I would highly endorse that you do that too. Right? But you have to get it out so that when you're 25, 30, 40 years old, you don't want to do that anymore. You have to be focused on your success. And I just wanted to open it up for you guys. I appreciate you guys for being here. I was not around 50 other 16 to 18-year-old guys that all wanted to be successful. Like, that's awesome. And so props to you for putting that together. Props for you for organizing it. And I'm just going to open it up for questions to continue from what it was. I just wanted to add some value to you guys and share some of my story, and really what it takes to be successful at the end of the day.